Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Arknights Prelude to Dawn, episode 2. In the previous episode, we got an introduction to the world, introduction to the story. We saw the doctor who was rescued from a weird facility in Chernobog, a city in Ursus, and he lost his memory, as we know. But regardless, he was rescued as one of the most brilliant minds, as far as we were told, and he did indeed. I'm saying he, but they, the gender is unspecified, so I guess I'm gonna be using they. I'm gonna have to get used to that because, like, I'm playing Arknights and I'm the doctor, so I, like, inject myself into that person. I guess I'm gonna continue using he. That's more natural to me, but I don't know if you find it weird or you'd rather I refer to the doctor as them or she or whatever. Then I guess let me know. But yeah, doctor was amnesiac is the amnesiac, but that doesn't stop him from being a brilliant strategist and using PRTS, which is just a copy of Arknights installed on a phone. Really, he managed to um, execute his plan to perfection and to figure out the plan to save that Ursus lady and her child. They weren't, or rather, the child was grateful for that, the mother not so much, because of course, we're the infected. Rhodes Island is a place for the infected, of the infected, made up of the infected, and infected are being are not very well liked. Let's just say it in those terms. Even less so in Chernobog, who's been not just Chernobog, even less so in Ursus, who's been spreading the whole anti-infected propaganda, essentially. There are places out there who are much more lenient towards the infected, as I mentioned during the previous episode. Sargon, in Sargon Nobody Gives a Fuck. Karlan, which is a country that doesn't really know whatchamacallit, catastrophes, so there aren't that many infected there, and whatever infected there are, they aren't treated any worse. I guess Laterano also don't treat their no. In Laterano, I think they just exile them. I'm not sure. The situation of infected in Kazimierz, though, it's getting better ever since the Maria Nerl events. Okay, I got completely off track. We got ambushed by Reunion. We had to fight some Reunion on the way out of the facility, of course. But thanks to the power of our characters, thanks to their teamwork, thanks to the tactics they employed, we got out safely. And compared to how the story was presented in the game, the anime is doing a much, much, much better job. Events wise, pacing wise, execution wise, everything wise, essentially. So if you're gonna watch the anime and you wanna play the game later, just skip the story in the game. The anime is gonna cover, I think, the first 4 or 5 chapters of the in-game story or something thereabouts. So, like, I guess feel free to skip that because you're gonna see that in the anime presented in a much more cohesive and much easier to parse way. Anything else worth mentioning from the previous episode? Well, we got introduced to our cast of characters, right? Amiya, Scout, Doberman, Guard, Medic, Ace. Who else was there? Off the top of my head, just them. And I guess also there was mentioned by name, Nerl was mentioned, so I'm assuming we're gonna meet Nerl in today's episode. Nerl is a character that I really, really wanted to get ever since I saw her in the story in Arknights. I got like a 5-star selector for new players, and I could make so many better choices than Nerl, but I picked an Nerl because I really, really wanted an Nerl. And I'm not complaining, because Nerl turned out to be a very good character. So I guess the characters that really got me into Arknights are all starting to appear. Doberman got me into Arknights. Nerl was the first character that I actively wanted to obtain. Yeah. Now we are on the way to meet with Nerl's team and escape Chernobog and to go back to Rhodes Island. How's it gonna go? I know, you maybe don't. So let's see what's gonna happen. To do that, you're gonna need your subs to follow along with the story. I'm gonna need to fix the camera a little bit. There we go, that's better. I'm gonna need my sound, because from what I heard, this episode is gonna have the opening and the ending, and I wanna hear them because Hypergriff, the company that makes Arknights, is really just a music company masquerading as a game studio. They have some amazing music. Listen to Arknights OST on YouTube if you have the chance. There are some abso-fucking-loot bangers. So, sound, very important. And support, also very important. You can support me, Patreon Throne, monetarily if you want. If you don't want to spend any money, share my content, spread the word. It helps a lot. And with that out of the way, we can start watching episode 2 of Arknights Prelude to Dawn in 3, 2, 1, go. I somehow doubt that. I somehow doubt that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Ursus really is Russia, right? Nothing's going on. Our people are fixing the issue. Russia most powerful. Ursus most powerful. No bad thing happening in Ursus. Ursus strong. I love this shot. The dude just burning alive and screaming, and then the wall of hello there. Doctor. Take the Dokuta, kill everybody else. But yeah, I love the shot of the dude just screaming and then just a wall of masked reunion soldiers. That's Amiya. You can tell by the ankle infection monitor. Hello, Nerl. Nice to see you. Franka and Liskarm. Medic. Exia and Texas. Hoshiguma. Doberman. Chen? Yeah, that's Chen. Chen is badass. Ace. And everybody's here. Kinda wish we got the lyrics to go with it, but oh well. Hello, W. Hello, Talula. That's a great shot of Amiya. They really like their fisheye lens effect. Sure. Just a 3-day operation. Yeah? Probably undergeared, understaffed. I love the multicolored highlights in Amiya's hair. Yeah. You can't put the mission in jeopardy by helping randos along the way. Feeling bad? Okay, noticed something. Probably. Time to play some gacha. Yeah, that's a drone. Do you have any ranged units? I don't think Doberman can hit aerial targets. Amiya. Amiya can hit aerial. Dogs? Yeah, don't fire blindly. Why'd you split up? Behind them? Oh. Doctor? Oh, kidnapped. By Crown Slayer. Kinda. Hello, Mephisto. They gave him a perfect voice. Perfect amount of annoying. They completed their objective. And I love Mephisto's staff. I mean, yeah, villains in general aren't well known to cooperate. Doctor! Yeah. All the clones are fine. You're not going anywhere. Let's. Yeah. That was plenty obvious. Yeah, that's a lot of reunion. Right, the sarcophagus. They really did a great job casting Mephisto. Very simple, actually. Yeah, it's very simple. After having some fun. Yeah, he just wants to have fun with you. Ace is communicating with someone in the background. Smoke them out and try to run. Honestly, yeah, fair. Crown Slayer was using mist and they are using smoke. Arts? I just wondered, they're also taking Amiya. Yeah, they have casters with them. Were there casters in the early stages in the game? I don't remember. Nerl Ex Machina. Best girl is here. And the perfect pronunciation of Kazimierz. Yeah, we're still in Chernobog. The rules have changed. Yeah, I mean, that's his idea of fun. Exactly. Oof. That's a nice impact. I love how they're impl- implementing actual like tactics in the combat. You don't see that in the game. Throwing smokes and regrouping and all that stuff. That's great. Also, I thought Nerl has a mace, not a axe thing. Frag out. Hello, Faust. Are we gonna see Tallulah in this episode? I love how he refers to Tallulah as Nesan. all the reunion members just turning around. Did you really just say that? That we're exposable? Exposable? Expendable. Oh, in the game we just walk past it. We never entered the Azazel clinic. Interesting. Okay, a bit more exposition about the infected. That's cool. Thankfully not run by the Mankan Shokus. Hmm. True. That said, Rhodes Island is a reputable company, so. And that's also true. The fact that you share the same issues doesn't mean you can bound over them. Bond. True. Rhodes Island is like genuinely the best place to be if you're infected. You have healing, Nerl. You're a half medic. Medic Defender, to be more precise, is her class. Or Healing Defender? Don't remember. That's an Originium tool. Okay, more exposition. That's fine. Yep. Like Fiammetta. Or Ifrit. Yep. Rock Cancer. Indeed. I love how fluffy Nerl is. Because there's no cure. Yep. Enemies approaching. Yeah, kind of hard to be amnesiac and hear that everything depends on you, that you're supposed to figure out a cure for rock cancer, but you don't even have memories of what the fuck rock cancer even is. Nightingale? Yeah. If you don't have memories, just create new ones, right? And here comes the catastrophe. Probably an ambush. Yes. Is it natural? Or is it someone causing it? That is the question. Hmm? Okay, that's a bit more insight into Ace than what the game is giving us. That's not just regular fire. That's someone melting through buildings. Yeah, it's not a couple of Molotovs. Uh, yeah, Tallulah. Are we gonna cliffhang it? They just mentioned arts that are able to level cities. Cue Tallulah. Oh, I love this. So incredibly regal. I love Tallulah. I love portrayal of this scene in the anime. I love this anime in general. Like, there are things, moments like this, that simply don't come through with just regular, like, visual novels kind of storytelling. You can't have the blast and burning through a building in a visual novel. I thought someone screaming under my window, but no, it's just a oh in the song. Okay, so we're certainly gonna go through it again because there are some things that I have to clarify a little, and some things I need to talk a little bit more about. Kelsey, Doberman, Ace, Chen, Hoshiguma. That's a great opening and a great ending. That's for sure. They really are a music company. Like, let's be honest here. Uh, but yeah, regardless of that, now it's time to go through this episode again. So let's do just that, shall we? Yes, we shall. I love this bit of, yeah, thanks to the swift response of the Ursus guards, the riots are contained, public order is being restored. Just stay indoors. Just so we're clear, stay indoors, but nothing is happening. The Ursus guards have prevailed. Everything's going back to normal. Meanwhile, the building is burning to ash. I love it. It's so Ursus and so Russian, right? Even when the worst is happening, nothing is happening. Ursus strong. Ursus shall prevail. Right? It's amazing. It's amazing how many parallels are there between the countries of Arknights and the countries of like real world, because many of the countries in Arknights have their direct equivalent in real world. For example, Arknights Kazimierz is based on Poland. Arknights, what else? Syracusa, I guess, is based on Italy. Rimbiliton is based on Australia, to the point where even in the translation, Rimbilitonian operators are very often using mate. What else is there? Other countries, right, are based on other countries as well, and it's great how well Arknights can pull out all the, not just the good of the countries, but also the bad of them. Right? For example, Ursus is all very exclusionary. It's very rife with propaganda, which is exactly the Soviet Union, even the Russia of today, right? Polish equivalent Kazimierz is essentially a corpocracy with some very old ideals kind of exploited by those corporations. The idea of knighthood, of being a knight, of like knightly competitions are all just a means for corporations to gain power and do their own little struggles. Rimbiliton, actually, I don't know particularly much about Rimbiliton. I just know that Amiya, Cruz, and Black Knight are from Rimbiliton. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see that. Yeah, that's how well the Ursus guards are doing. They're burning to the ground while the reunion is watching. In general, as I mentioned during when the scene was happening, I really do love this scene. The guard just burning and screaming, and the unmoving faces of the reunion, completely devoid of emotions. Even if they show some emotions under their hoods, under their masks, you can't see them because the masks. They look like they're completely and utterly unmoved by what's going on in front of them. Which is probably the purpose of those masks in world, right? If you want your organization to be feared, you give them masks. That's like one of the most basic ways you can make your group much more scary to the opposition. You can't read the face, you can't see the emotions. They just look like blank slates, essentially. Can't get a read on them. They don't even look human because they don't show emotions. That's great effect. And this scene really emphasizes that. Crown Slayer, I just noticed, but is Crown Slayer is Crown Slayer a Zalak? Which is a race of rodent people in general, but mostly squirrels. Actually, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Why not? Arknights, Crown Slayer. The race should be listed in the wiki. Crown Slayer, other names, class, attack. Yeah, I don't want class, I don't want attack, I want to know her race. Can I maybe look up Zalak? And is she gonna be listed there? No, she's not listed as being a Zalak. Despite looking similar to Flametail and Ratatos. Oh well, whatever. Doesn't matter ultimately. Opening, it's great. We get some more shots on the Doctor, who really looks dead. This is enough to know that it's Amiya. She's covered in infection monitors, which is all those like bracelets, her thigh band, her ankle thing. Those are things that monitor the infection, the status of Oripathy. Okay, what else do we see here? Reunion. Nerl. First time I'm getting a good look at her weapon. What's her weapon look like in the game? Nerl. Is it also this axe-looking thing? Yeah, it is. Okay, so I was mistaken. For some reason, I thought she's using a mace, but no, she is using this axe-looking thing. Nerl, generic operators in the back. Franka and Liskarm. They have some great chemistry. Medic and Guard. Exia and Texas. Hoshiguma. And this is the first use of CG on the soldiers marching down there. But it's actually good CG, so I don't mind it whatsoever. And I also get to see Hoshiguma. So whatever qualms I might have had about that scene, they are all invalidated by the presence of Hoshiguma. Chen being Chen, just brooding and killing. Chen is great. Okay, Ace after fight, Hoshiguma, a brawl, Chen, Tallulah, the leader of the reunion, and the Doctor really looks dead. He really does. She really does. They really do. Using the drone to observe. Yeah, someone told me in the comments on the previous episode that there are characters that do use drones, like flying aerial drones, and sure, mech accord casters. I kind of forgot about them. Click is using a drone. Kiera is using some flying creatures, so that doesn't really count as a drone. And the other mech accord caster, the third one, I don't think is in the EN version yet, although I might be mistaken. You've got to hand it to them coming up with that fake news. Yeah, they are very fast with that because they always do that because it's Ursus. Government isn't really serious about suppressing the riots. Again, it's Soviet Union, it's Russia. They don't give a fuck. They don't care about their citizens. They don't care about anything. They just care about stuffing their pockets with money. It's kleptocracy to the highest degree, and we see examples of that currently, right now, in like real actual world, but also throughout history. So the portrayal of Ursus is really historically accurate to the Soviet Union. I really love the multicolored highlights in Amiya's hair. I wasn't sure about them because why would there be different colors on different parts of her hair? But it does look good. We can't afford to help anyone right now. Yeah, kinda tough situation, but of course Ace, the ever supportive one. Fog is getting thicker. No hostile targets. Drones have been taken out by an enemy drone. And let's see. Okay, they have a generic sniper, so they can take out the drone. Because Doberman, I don't think she can hit aerial targets. Ace cannot. Guards and scouts. I think they only have guards with them, not even scouts. So yeah, they can't hit aerial targets either. They do have a sniper, and they do have Amiya. Although flying drones usually have low defense and high resistance, so using arts against them probably not the best idea. You want physical damage sniper, but that's just my like game knowledge talking, so I'm gonna shut up now. The goal was to split you up, indeed, and I can hear the sound of dogs in the background. Interesting that we never see any. Uh, Probably because Chinese censorship or whatever. Why would they censor dogs? I don't know, but China is weird about censorship, so it's entirely possible. Dogs are like one of the very first enemies in the game. Also, on the topic of censorship, you might be wondering why there's combat and they're, fighting, but there's no blood. Nobody's really like shown dying. If someone dies, they do it off screen. Again, there's no blood, there's no wounds visible. That's because Arknights anime was approved by the Chinese Board of Censorship or whatever, and to be approved by that, well, you have to align with the censorship rules of China. Kind of a pity, kind of a bummer, not gonna lie. Fuck the CCP, just so we're clear. Because of that, because we could have gotten something better. Who the fuck is screaming outside? What the fuck is going on? Okay, yeah, so if you're wondering why they're fighting in a very non-lethal way, China. That explains things. Someone being murdered. What's going on, genuinely? I don't know. Okay, haven't seen it, haven't heard it. I'm gonna wash my hands of it, whatever's going on. Let request backup. I for a moment I thought that they're gonna depart a little from Doberman's character because she's using whip. She's a melee character, and that in this shot, yeah, a little bit before, yeah, when the whole thing isn't visible yet, that she's just pulling out a shotgun and she's just gonna come out blasting those reunion members. It would be cool if it was like a foreshadowing to Doberman Alter, who's a spread shot sniper or something like that. That'd be cool. I wonder if they're gonna do something like that in the anime. A little bit of a hint that some of the operators shown here might get an altar. That'd be cool. Who's here that doesn't have an altar that we've seen so far? Doberman doesn't have an altar. Nerl does have one. Um, Chen has an altar. I guess Hoshiguma doesn't have an altar. Franka, Liskarm don't have altars. Nobody really does, besides Nerl and Chen. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that. Crown Slayer. I'm jealous of the Doctor right now. One wrong move and I'll kill you. That's a classic Yandere move. I wonder what Crown Slayer, who Crown Slayer is looking for. Tell me I'm looking for someone, tell me everything you know. I can't recall. Like, actually, from playing the game, granted, I'm on chapter 6 right now, so maybe it becomes clearer later, but I genuinely cannot recall who's Crown Slayer after. Who's she looking for? I don't know. I don't know. She kind of looks like the brown tails from Kierag. So maybe she's looking for Ratatos, her long lost sister or something. I have no clue. Regardless. They really are doing a great job in the anime to make the story much more stick much more and be much more fun to watch in general, because again, as I said, the downsides of the visual novel way of storytelling are that it's kind of boring. Like, you get character dialogue, character dialogue, another character dialogue. Whoa, a CG of a burning city. Character dialogue. You can't bring the excitement through this sort of a medium. This works. The appearance of Mephisto, all of it works. And his mannerism, his annoyingness, they really did a great job making Mephisto. I kind of expected his voice to be a little higher, a little bit more squeaky, a little bit more childlike. Uh, but I guess his voice as it is does work in the end. I also love Mephisto's stuff. It isn't presented that well in the game because again, it's just a static sprite. You don't see much more than that. Seeing it from all sorts of angles really drives home the point just how elaborate and over engineered it is. It has no business being this complex, and yet it is because why not? Also, Mephisto, what's your get up? It's always like the funniest thing to me. Short shorts, knee high socks, and fashion sense among the reunion, I guess. Although Tallulah is a fashion icon, so perhaps not. Perhaps it's just Mephisto. And of course, he seems very kind and very, not an enemy. But okay, I guess they do show a little bit of blood. Is it black? It's black, isn't it? It's not even red. Wait. What's the shortcut? Windows Shift C. Windows Shift C. Yeah. Color probe. It's reddish. It's reddish, but just about burly. Yeah. Okay, so center of the blood splotch on the leftmost guard is RGB 23, 1920. So 23 red, 19 green, 20 blue. So just about barely red. The edges are more. Yeah, the edges are more red. 47 red, 22 green, 27 blue. So I guess that's how they got it past the sensors. I don't know. Yeah, there's a spot where we can patch them up. The whatever clinic. Let's plan a fun little game. Mephisto sure does love his games. You're a pharma company, but you do more than just play with test tubes. Oh, so much more. Rhodes Island is involved in so much more than just playing with test tubes. From overthrowing governments to dealing with legit deities. Rhodes Island is anything but a pharmaceutical company by now. You fight shoddily to avoid taking lives. My kill count in Arknights begs to differ. uh, Especially with, for example, Crown Slayer. I can't count the times I threw Crown Slayer off the building. Crown Slayer should be glad there's no Shaw in this squad right now because Shaw is a character that's very often used to bully Crown Slayer. Just push Crown Slayer off the building or into the spiky pit or through a wall. That's also a very often used strategy of pushing Crown Slayer through a wall so she has to do the lap again to get to your characters. Crown Slayer is made to be bullied, honestly. Who are you? Where are you from? How did you survive? And you look kinda different from the rest of us. One, because Doctor just looks plain dead. Two, everybody in Arknights is some sort of an animal, based on some sort of an animal or some sort of a mythological creature. Doctor, we don't know. That's the thing, we don't know. Like, Amiya is based on a rabbit. Ace is, I think, an Archosaurus, so it's based on a lizard. Even Mephisto is a Liberi, based on a bird. Liberi are very common to like mistake for regular humans because they just usually look regular. Sometimes they have a couple of tiny wings on their head or a tiny bird tail. but not often. Yeah, we see some Ursus operators, some Lupos, I think. Yeah, those two guards in the middle are Lupo or Perro. Yeah, let's play a game. Very simple. You either survive or you die. Easy enough. The rules are very easy, very simple. And of course, the catastrophe that makes it the best time to party, that's straight up from the game. It really shows you the madness of Mephisto. And even more so when you actually see what the catastrophe is. I have no doubt that they're gonna show like a good and proper catastrophe in this anime. It doesn't come through quite as well in the game, but even the CG that you can see of a catastrophe really creates that sense of awe that you have when you're looking at like a volcano erupting into a cloud and then storm approaching and the cloud of smoke from the volcano is rife with lightning bolts, right? That's what catastrophe evokes. That's the kind of feeling. So I have no doubt they're gonna nail it in the anime. What am I after? He's after nothing. He just wants to have fun. That's just Mephisto. Is he insane? Perhaps. Perhaps a little bit, perhaps very much. Hard to tell. To some degree, insane, for sure. But he just wants to have fun. Genuinely. He has no agenda. If Tallulah wants him to do something, then sure, he's gonna fulfill the orders, but if not, then he's just gonna fuck around and kill some people. For fun. Smoke. Again, as I mentioned, I really do love the tactical additions that this that this anime provides, because in the original game, again, it's just a light novel visuals, light novel just text, light novel way of conveying the story. So we can't exactly have like smoke grenades deployed. Now you could, sure. Many gachas nowadays do add some effects to their plain dialogues, so they could have done some smoke particles. Arknights doesn't. Arknights storytelling is very, very plain and honestly kind of boring. When I compare it to like Alchemy Stars, then yeah, the stories are great, the characters are great, but the presentation is fairly subpar. And of course, Mephisto is treating his soldiers as pawns in a game of chess. Nobody pulled any attention to that. In the game, I think it was Doberman who said that he's treating this fight as a game of chess. He's mad, he's insane. But I guess now we are supposed to be the ones to figure that out, that he's insane. Taking the wounded, taking Amiya with them. Amiya is their powerhouse, so they're gonna be a little bit weakened by that. And that's Arts. We've seen that attack before. Blue, where does it come from? Is it Mephisto casting? Or is it some of the reunion members? I haven't seen any reunion casters among them. Neural Ex Machina. The wind up and the drop. Neural is here. The best girl has arrived. Reinforcements are here. The cavalry is here. Whatever you want to say. A Polish horse girl. She's from Kazimierz. And she's a part of the best faction in the entire game. The Followers. I fucking love the Followers. And I fucking love Neural. Yeah, I'm fanboying over Neural right now. So good to see her animated. So good to hear her voiced. I love Neural. I am Neural, the Radiant Knight of Kazimierz. And the pronunciation. Kazimierz. Sure, the accent is a little bit off because it's short. Kazimierz. In Polish, she says Kazimierz. But it's my pet peeve. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. They started adding English voice actors to the game. You can switch the voice lines of characters individually on a per character basis, which is great. Between like Japanese, Chinese, Korean, and English right now. And some of the Syracusan characters are also gonna get Italian dubbing, which is just mind blowing, honestly. But every single character that has English dubbing and tries to say Kazimierz, or doesn't even say like Kazimierz, it's always some sort of a butchered Kashimiereze, Kashimiereze, or something like that. Why? Who directed it? Japanese voice actors have no issue pronouncing it. But then you have English, British, to be more exact, because most of the English voices are from voice actors from the UK, and they can't pronounce it. They'd rather say Kazimierz. Why? Why? That's why I'm not using English voices. Fuck them. I need my Kazimierz pronounced properly. Chernobog wants to be just an old nomadic city. However, according to the research promoted by the mayor, Count Boris, the city was able to secure abundant energy and rapidly developed. Chernobog emerged as an industrial city, and its high productivity made it one of the most important cities in the Ursus Empire. I love the faces that show emotion in Arknights. This, you can see how incredibly pissed off he is. And also the art in general, it's like a painting. All the backgrounds, all the foregrounds are just like watercolor paintings. I love the art direction and art style of this anime. Now, Nerl is a defender in the game, so don't count on her just dispatching enemies left and right. She's there to tank some damage and heal herself and heal her allies. Your men are too sloppy. Reunion fighters who captured the city stronghold were much more effective because they were under the direction of someone else, possibly under the direction of Tallulah. Meanwhile, Mephisto just treats them as disposable. Satisfy your base desires, indeed. He's so pissed, he's so mad. And this line in the game has the same effect. Amazing. I want her shot through the mouth. Thankfully, Nerl is a tank. She can block it. Yep, she's a tank. Her whole deal is blocking. Try again. Blocked again. The wounded have been evacuated. And yeah, we just run. We just bail. Also, the duality of Mephisto. I love how well it's portrayed here. How he's like, oh, they're running. I'm angry. Oh, Faust. Oh, how good to see you. No, it's all right. Don't apologize. You numbnuts, you let them escape. But not you, Faust. You're cool. You're my best friend. You're at no fault at all. I really do love that about Mephisto. He's a character you love to hate. We'll let her decide on the fate of these insects. And this shot. Those men are yours to waste as you need. Your safety comes before everything else, okay? Like, Faust, please take care of yourself, okay? Those factors are not important, but you, please come in one piece. And they just, damn, he really said that. Shit, he really sees us as disposable. Maybe I should have joined Rhodes Island, not Reunion. Fuck, is it too late to switch sides? I love this little head turn. Let's go, friend. Let us go forth into our new era. In this country, in Ursus, if you're found to have Oripathy, you're taken straight to a quarantine zone. Yeah, to the Gulag you go. You go to a Gulag. And they receive treatment in a back alley clinic. Yeah, a little bit of exposition about how persecuted the infected are. And I guess get used to that. I'm starting to slowly finding annoying, but the recent events were really good about that. How much everything, just plain old everything in Arknights is about the infection, about Oripathy. Now I understand why. It's like the main theme, right? And the main goal of Rhodes Island. But when everything that's bad stems from Oripathy, it kinda gets stale eventually, where every single story is about, oh no, I'm infected, my life is miserable. Oh, they were infected, their lives were miserable. Oh, I got infected, my life is now miserable. Oh, my friend got infected, their life is now miserable, right? It's kinda getting stale. As I said, the new events are much better about it. They're introducing many new issues, I guess, many new problems, many new conflicts, right? A country on the brink of a civil war. No mention of Oripathy, just a country on the brink of a civil war. Lovecraftian terrors from the sea attacking. Not a mention of Oripathy. The Lovecraftian terrors are our main concern right now. That's the event about those sea terrors is running right now, actually. Stultifera Navis. Highly recommend if you're planning to start playing Arknights, start now, because you're also getting like free pools daily and free 10 pools, and yeah, it's genuinely a good time to start. And I'm also playing that on stream. If you want to catch the stream, subscribe, and the first VOD is already up on YouTube, so you might want to check it out if you want. If you don't want to read the whole story yourself, I'm reading through all of it. But yeah, regardless of that, everything is about Oripathy, particularly early on. And yeah, people of Rhodes Island are working to overcome this barrier together. Some exposition on Originium. Yeah, Originium crystals. All this time I thought they're glowing red, but apparently they're glowing green, which is interesting. Rhodes Island certified magical wand. I love it. That's great. And yeah, exposition about her. There's a mineral inside this tool called Originium. With your natural aptitude, you can use arts by using tools with Originium. In them, our civilization exists only because of the industrial applications of these abilities. Originium is also the source of Oripathy. Oripathy can even enhance your arts, double-edged sword. Yeah, just a little bit more of a just to make it a little bit more clear, a little clearer, because they didn't exactly cover everything that needs to be covered. Originium, mineral. It's underground. You mine it like coal or whatever, and it's used as essentially super fuel and a super source of power. Originium powered industry, Originium powered vehicles, Originium powered weapons, Originium powered tools. Everything Originium. But one downside: if you inhale Originium dust, or if some Originium gets into your wound, or if it gets through your pores or whatever, contact with Originium can lead to Oripathy, which makes Originium grow inside of you. First inside of you. First it grows through your internal organs. Then, when it's advanced, it starts growing, it starts breaking your skin, and you're getting like rocks growing out of your body. That's why it's commonly referred to as rock cancer. Incurable. Treatable, yes, to a degree, but uncurable. Why are the infected shunned? Well, because if you die and you're infected, you entirely turn into a block of Originium. It consumes your whole body, and then your crystallized body explodes, scattering Originium everywhere and infecting everybody in the radius. And then they get Originium, and then they eventually die, and they explode and infect more. So you can see how that might be a problem and how that might lead to the persecution of the infected. Now, about the use of it. There was a line that implied that if you ingest Originium, if you put Originium in your body, that enhances your arts. Nobody sane does that. Nobody sane will willingly uh, get sick with Oripathy in the name of enhancing their arts. It's a side effect, right? You don't need to use a tool that has an Originium tip on it because you have Originium growing throughout your body. You are the Originium tool, you are the conduit, you are the wand, so you don't need any other tools. At the cost of the Originium spreading throughout your body and affecting you. There are operators who have gone blind or semi-blind because the Originium started growing through their eyeballs. There are ones who have issues with their voice. Actually, Mephisto should have had much more scruffy voice because there's Originium in his throat. There are characters that have Originium like growing through their legs, and they lose the ability to use their legs. They need to use like exoskeletons or even wheelchairs, right? So it's not that, oh cool, I can swallow an Originium pill and now be a tool myself and do like lightning from my hands, because you're gonna die slowly and painfully, and then when you die, others around you will share the same fate. So it's probably not the best way, right? You probably like buy yourself a wand and use that wand rather than getting infected with Oripathy. Anything else that needs some cleanup, some clearing up? Oripathy can even enhance your arts. Yeah, because Oripathy, Originium is kind of the source of arts. So Originium itself is a double-edged sword. If they didn't discover it, if they didn't use it, they would still be banging two sticks together in a cave trying to start a fire. But because they did discover it, instead of contracting black lung, they're contracting rock cancer. Yeah, I didn't mean to put pressure on you. Yeah, Doctor is a lead Oripathy researcher, was before the amnesia at least, and also a neurosurgeon, I think, something like that. And yeah, that's why we need to bring you to Rhodes Island at all costs, because you are our only hope in figuring out how to combat Oripathy. Alas, the Doctor has amnesia, so kinda insensitive. I have a friend who lost her memories. I'm assuming she means Nightingale, who is a member of the followers group that I fanboyed so much over. The followers, I think currently they consist of 3 people, which is Nerl, the medic defender, Nightingale, an AoE medic with shields, and fuck, why did I forget her name? I love her as well. Shining. I love Shining. She might not be the best medic. She's a single target medic, by the way. But I love her. I love her design. I love her demeanor. I love her lore. I love everything about the followers. Every single one of them. The common theme: everybody can heal among the followers. And also another common theme: Maria used to be Maria. Wait, Maria? Margaret. Sorry. Nerl's real name is Margaret. Margaret Nerl. Nerl is her surname. She used to be a campaign knight, so she would take part in essentially gladiator fight in Kazimierz. Then she turned to the followers, and she's now healing. She's supporting people. Similarly, Shining. Her story is that she used to be a confessarius, which is like a very powerful and very scary fighter, and she has a sword. She fights with a sword, but now she uses that sword turned upside down as a staff to heal people. Nightingale, not much is known about her because amnesia. Just a little bit of followers lore and why I love them so much. The mysticism of Shining is top notch. Love it. Yeah. What's important isn't your past or the memories you've lost. It's your present and your future. Just make new memories the way I'm making new memories with both of my girlfriends. The followers are sometimes in the fandom referred to as Margaret's harem, essentially, which I guess it kind of is. Yeah. There's a fire, not just any fire. Oh, anything but a regular fire. One day, if I feel like it, I'll tell you about it. Hopefully. Yeah, not just any fire, just someone, meaning Tallulah, melting through a building. If you didn't know how powerful arts can get. Arts aren't just, I can make you wounds a little faster heal. Arts aren't just, I can make a black energy ball and throw it at people and hurt them. No, arts are, I'm gonna melt through the building. Then I'm gonna shoot out a beam of fire that's gonna cover some ground and burn everything to a crisp. Then I'm gonna shoot another beam of fire that's gonna melt through another building and level it. That's arts. That's the potential of arts. And considering other characters that have appeared since the early chapters of the game, Tallulah's arts, they're strong, but they're hardly the strongest. So, yeah, arts. A true powerhouse. The Tyrant of Reunion. Tarura indeed. I like how panicked they look. And the imagery of just burned, charred, melted concrete on the ground. It's concrete, and yet it's been set on fire. Like, how powerful of a flame would that have to be? To melt through a building and then melt the road. Just like that, leveling buildings, leveling cities. That is Tallulah. I love this scene. No music, no sound. You can't even hear the fire burning, the crackling of the fire. Just her heels reverberating in a completely dead, silent air. Step, step, step. She doesn't have to hurry. She doesn't have to run. Because who's there to oppose her? What have the infected done? What have the innocent done? What can you do? Nerl, a character that dispatched a whole troop of Reunion soldiers. Even she cannot withstand this inferno. Right? It shows that difference in strength is difference in power. Nerl is powerful, but Tallulah is even more so. And I love how she dresses. I love her design. I love Tallulah. I'm inhaling hopium every day that she becomes a playable operator eventually. That she's gonna be somehow converted to the side of Rhodes Island and I'm gonna be able to pull for her. That's gonna be the first time I'm gonna like whip out my credit card and I'm gonna just buy straight up Originite Prime or whatever is the currency in Arknights name to pull for her. The moment I get a whiff of Tallulah's banner, I'm just gonna stop pulling on anything else. Limiteds, unlimiteds, collabs, whatever, everything goes towards Tallulah. This is as far as you go. Your naive dreams won't come true. I'll tell you how I want things to end. Annihilation. The most annoying game mode in Arknights, because it takes like half an hour to complete a single mission, even in auto run at twice the speed. Fucking hate playing Annihilation, but it's the source of your gacha currency, so you kinda have to. That's a great ending. I love the music, I love the visuals. I only wish there was some lyrics there. Ace, Chen. I love Chen. I love Chen. I love Koshiguma. I love the relationship. I wish they got to hang out with Bagpipe more. And that's it. That was episode 2 of Arknights Prelude to Dawn. Uh, there. Yeah, that's good. What can I say? Great episode. Again, showed us that the stories and the events of Arknights really lend themselves well to this form of showing them, I guess you could say. Arknight's story really did deserve an anime, right? There are stories out there, light novels, mangas, games, that stand up perfectly well on their own merit, right? Not every light novel needs an adaptation, needs an anime adaptation. It's cool when they get one, but the light novel is just good enough. The presentation, the prose, and everything is good enough for you. It's great, even. Same goes for manga, same goes for anime, for games. In case of Arknights, the presentation of the story in the game is honestly kind of shit, especially the first chapters. The later chapters and the events are great. The presentation is still kind of boring because it's just mostly static sprites and text, and not much is going on besides that. But uh, the anime was really needed to give to uh, to fulfill the whole potential of the story. Right, the story had such an incredible amount of potential, but it was held back by the presentation. This is the presentation it deserved. It really, really is. I kinda wish that they're gonna do, maybe in the future, a similar thing that Precon did, at least at parts, where instead of story, like textual story, they're gonna put the episodes of the anime in the game. Or maybe they're gonna put them in the archives or somewhere, where you can choose to either read through the story or watch it. Because that's gonna bring so much people to the game, and that's gonna make it so much more approachable. Trying to even figure out what's going on, trying to read the story. Although I guess that could be problematic, kind of, sort of, because where do you split it? The anime doesn't go exactly one to one, beat for beat, with the game. You can't say that, like, the first third, the first one third of the first episode was, I don't know, mission one of the first chapter. The second third was mission two of the first chapter. The third half was mission three of the first chapter, right? It's all mixed and matched, so you can't exactly do that. But yeah, the anime is great, and it really does show that the stories in Arknights are great. They just suffer from poor execution. I'm grateful for this anime. I really am. Do I have anything more to say? I don't think so. I don't think so. I can't wait for the next episode where we get to see Tallulah a little bit more, because here she was introduced as that force of nature. And in the next episode, we're gonna see more of her, and we're gonna fight a little, and we're gonna run, and we're gonna survive. Hopefully, everybody, maybe not, maybe, who knows. I'm dying to see what changes are they gonna make compared to the story in the game, because every change they've made so far has been in plus. For sure, 100%. Every change they did was for the benefit of the story. Yeah, right now I think that's gonna be it. I don't have anything more to say, but maybe you do. Especially if you're an anime only fan. I'm dying to hear what you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, or I guess I didn't have any because I know exactly what's gonna happen. But if you're an anime only, or if you're not an anime only, I also want to hear from you. What did you think of this episode, of the previous episode? Where do you think it's gonna go? Don't spoil it. It's not as much about me, but about other commenters. There are people out here who are anime only, so don't spoil it in the comments, please. If you do want to talk some spoilers, maybe from like future events or whatever. Discord here, also in the description, join it. And there's a channel for Arknights, there's a channel for Gacha. You can join either and talk about Arknights if you want. And just to be safe, if you're anime only, don't check the comments. You know, just to be safe. Although leave one for the algorithm gods, I guess. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Arknights Prelude to Dawn, but also Symphony Axis, Gundam Witch from Mercury, Tensei Shitaraken Deshita, Nobis Alchemist, and Madoka Magica Rebellion that I'm gonna be recording sometime soon. And I'm also gonna be streaming more Arknights, so if you want to be notified about that, subscribe, click the bell, all that jazz. Support the channel if you want monetarily. Patreon throne links in the description. On Patreon for $10 a month to get early access to non-seasonals like Symphogear, like Madoka, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord, and you also get a place in the credits that are gonna be rolling by shortly. On Throne, you can pitch in directly towards my purchase of better lighting, better camera, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word. It really does help grow the channel an awful lot. And with that, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of patrons, and you can be one of them, and you won't contract rock cancer, I guess.